I want to go next into a story about Balaam. Balaam was this awesome business guy in Numbers, and he's most often associated with the talking donkey, right? You know the story of the talking donkey. But I think sometimes what we forget is Balaam was a really, really, really good businessman. Kings sought him out to give a blessing or a curse, and they went out of their way to try to make sure you got Balaam. So this guy was running with royalty way back when in Numbers. And so he's doing his thing. Some king's servants go to hire him to do a curse over a certain amount of people. And check this out. His business was blessings and curses. He was speaking things with authority, apparently, because it was happening. He kept getting rehired and rehired to speak with authority over a people group, or a situation, or interpret something. So this time a king sends him out. He says, okay, I'm going to go. And the king wanted him to curse the people of Israel, God's people. He's like, all right, I'll take the money. I'm good at this. Off he goes. And we know how this story starts to go right away. He's on his donkey. And when we think about donkeys back there, we kind of dismiss donkeys the way the world portrays them now as sort of this stubborn Eeyores. But back then, the donkeys were real workhorses. And remember, Jesus rode a donkey into the place that he was about to be sacrificed. Donkeys were really important. Think of those today instead of a Corvette. The donkeys were like the work trucks, the big work trucks. So imagine you're walking around modern day and you're about to go off to your job and your truck stops and starts to talk to you, right? The donkey just stops and is like doing, and he's starting to beat the donkey, saying, hey, you're not doing what I'm commanding you to do. I need to get to my appointment. I got to do what I'm hired to do. And this goes on and on as you know the story. And eventually a fierce angel shows up to get in his way. Is about to take him out if he didn't obey. So as we know, you can go back and look at that story later. But Balaam eventually does the right thing as he goes on. And eventually speaks oracles and blessings over the people of Israel. And then later in life, if you keep reading the story, eventually he does it and goes the other way and ends up doing some pretty nefarious things. But I bring up this story about Balaam this morning because every day in this world, we are tempted to do something in business, just a slight twist of something that we're already really good at, hired by kings of this world, and it's just a slight twist. In God's world, there's no gray area between good and evil. It's good or evil. There's no difference in the middle. There's no gray, as the world teaches us. There's no maybe. It's this or that. Following God or not. And there's a slight twist all the time. So it's up to us as leaders to make sure that we are listening to God to know the difference. Because as we go, we know life is so busy and chaotic, we're often hired to do things that could be just slightly taking us off course.